Now we're on Unit 1, SLT 12 and 13, and we're learning about rotations. If you look at these three figures, it says, which of the following figures do you think represents a rotation? For now, circle what you think represents a rotation, and we'll come back to it later. Now I need you to go to this link. I need you to type this up here into your browser and watch that video, and then come back to this video once you're done watching that one. So pause this video, go to that link, and then come back to this video when you're done with that one. Now you should have watched the video that you were supposed to go to put in your browser, and we're going to go over what we just learned. So rotations, they're a type of transformation. And then the blank is the result of a transformation on a pre-image, and it is the image. The image happens after the pre-image. Two things you need to know in a rotation are the center of rotation and the number of degrees in the rotation. So the center of rotation and the number of degrees. Now the center of rotation is the point that doesn't move. It's the point we rotate the figure around. So all the way around the circle is 360 degrees. And rules for points rotated about the origin. So if we are rotating about the origin, and the origin is always the middle of a graph at 0, 0. That's the origin. So if we are rotating around the origin, if it's 90 degrees counterclockwise, then xy is going to go to yx, so the x and y coordinates will switch. And that's also the same thing as 270 degrees clockwise, because if you look, let me draw this real quick. If I took a circle here and I rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise, it would end up here. But if I rotated it 90, 180, 270 degrees clockwise, it would end up in the same spot. So it is the same thing as rotating it 270 degrees clockwise. Counterclockwise and 90 degrees counterclockwise and 270 degrees clockwise are the same. And then 180 degrees, let's see. If you rotate something like this shape, it would go 90 degrees, and then 180 degrees, and it would end up here. If you did it clockwise, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, it would end up in the same spot. So that's why when we talk about 180 degrees, it doesn't matter clockwise or counterclockwise. It will turn to xy goes to negative x, negative y. And then 270 degrees counterclockwise, xy will go to y, negative x. And that is the same thing as 90 degrees clockwise for what we just talked about with A, letter A. Now if we look at this figure, it shows that the pre-image has been rotated 90 degrees around point A. And it looks like it's been rotated this way. So that's actually 90 degrees counterclockwise. around point A, and that's this point right here. So it stayed at that point and rotated around that point. I also want you to know when you see CCW, that's counterclockwise. Okay. Now number 1, describe the rotation of the blue triangle in the diagram below. So we are going to look at the blue image, the blue triangle, image A, and figure out where we rotated it, how many degrees, and around what point. So the pre-image A, this was rotated 90 degrees. Counterclockwise around point B. So I can see that it was 90 degrees counterclockwise around point B. Try this one on your own. Describe the rotation of the triangles in this diagram. The pre-image A is rotated, so the blue image is rotated how many degrees around point, this is around point A. So it's rotated 180 degrees. This can be clockwise or counterclockwise, because remember with 180 degrees it doesn't matter if it goes this way or this way, it's going to end up the same spot. So now if we look at number 3, we want to describe the rotation in this diagram below. I just want to point out that there is a typo here. XY goes to Y negative X. So if we're looking at B and B prime, it started at XY and then it changed to Y opposite X. Same with C and C prime, it was XY and it changed to Y opposite X. Therefore, this is a rotation 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. So it turned this way 90 degrees. Now let's review from the beginning. If we look at these figures, figure 1 and figure 3 of are examples of rotations. Figure 1 is rotated around point A, which is in the middle, and that's rotated 180 degrees. And figure 3 is rotated around point directly to the right of point A. So over here, it's rotated around this point. Now I want you to go in Google Classroom and complete the online practice assigned on Google Classroom for SLT 12 and 13. This will be 5 classwork points.